pumpkin vine is wilting, the leaves are collapsing, and most gardeners think the season is over. What surprises many people is that pumpkins have a built-in survival ability that can keep fruit growing even after the main vine is damaged. The problem is that almost nobody uses it. Instead, they waste time watering, fertilizing, and watching the plant decline. In this video, I'll show you a simple fix that costs about $2 and helps a struggling vine grow an entirely new lifeline. Stay with me. For many gardeners, the moment a pumpkin vine starts wilting in mid-season feels like the end of months of work. The leaves droop during the day, sections of the vine begin looking weak, and before long, entire portions of the plant seem to be shutting down. That's when most people make a costly mistake. They assume the plant is thirsty, so they add more water. A few days later, when nothing improves, they reach for fertilizer. But the vine's internal transport system has been damaged. Neither of those actions addresses the real problem. What makes pumpkins fascinating is that they're naturally designed to survive setbacks. If you ever look closely at a healthy vine, you've probably noticed small nodes along the stem where leaves and side shoots emerge. Most gardeners never pay much attention to them. Yet those nodes hold the key to the entire rescue strategy we're discussing today. Here's the surprising part. A pumpkin plant doesn't always have to rely on a single root system. Under the right conditions, it can develop additional roots from sections of the vine itself. That's not a gardening myth. It's a well-known characteristic of many vining plants in the cucurbit family, including pumpkins. And once you understand why that matters, you'll see why this inexpensive fix can sometimes save a harvest that appears to be headed for failure. In the next part, we'll look at the science behind this hidden survival mechanism and why most gardeners completely overlook it until it's too late. The reason this technique works comes down to how pumpkin vines are built. Inside every healthy vine are specialized tissues that move water, minerals, and sugars throughout the plant. When that flow is interrupted, the leaves and developing pumpkins begin receiving fewer resources. The result is the classic decline many gardeners notice in the middle of summer. But pumpkin plants have a remarkable backup system. Along the vine are growth points that can produce what horticulturists call adventitious roots. These are roots that form from stems rather than from the original root crown. In nature, this helps sprawling vines survive when parts of the plant become stressed or damaged. That brings us to the $2 fix. By placing moist sphagnum moss around a healthy section of vine beyond the damaged area, you're creating the ideal environment for new roots to develop. Sphagnum moss is especially useful because it holds moisture while still allowing air to reach the stem. That balance is important. Roots need moisture, but they also need oxygen. Many gardeners are surprised to learn that the goal isn't to repair the damaged section itself. The goal is to help the plant create a new source of support farther along the vine. In other words, you're encouraging the pumpkin to build a second lifeline. And this is where most people make another mistake. They know the vine can root at nodes, but they apply the method in a way that dramatically reduces success. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to set up the moss correctly, so the vine has the best chance of producing those new roots. The first step is choosing the right section of vine. Don't place the moss directly on a portion that's already soft, collapsed, or severely damaged. Instead, move several inches beyond the problem area and look for a healthy node where a leaf or side shoot emerges. The stem should still feel firm and alive. Lightly moisten the sphagnum moss, so it's damp but not dripping wet. If you squeeze it and water runs out, it's too wet. Excess moisture can reduce airflow and increase the risk of rot. Take a small handful and gently wrap it around the node and the surrounding section of stem. Now cover the moss loosely. Some gardeners use a strip of breathable garden fabric, while others use a small piece of plastic with a few ventilation openings. The goal is simply to keep the moss from drying out too quickly. You are not trying to seal the stem in an airtight environment. One detail that often gets overlooked is contact. The moss needs to stay in direct contact with the stem. If there are gaps, the rooting response may be slower or less successful. This is why a loose pile of moss placed beside the vine usually doesn't work nearly as well as wrapping the stem itself. At this stage, nothing dramatic will happen overnight. In fact, the vine may look exactly the same for several days. But beneath that moss, the plant is beginning a process that can completely change the outcome of the season. The next question is how long it takes to work, and what signs tell you the new root system is actually forming. One reason many gardeners give up on this method is that they expect instant results. Root formation doesn't happen overnight. The vine needs time to respond to the moist environment and begin producing new tissue. Depending on temperatures and the overall condition of the plant, the process may take anywhere from 1 to several weeks. The first sign of success usually isn't a dramatic burst of growth. Instead, the decline begins to slow. Leaves beyond the damaged section may start holding their firmness longer during the day. New growth may appear healthier than older growth. These subtle changes often indicate that the plant is starting to establish additional support for itself. Resist the urge to keep unwrapping the moss every day to check for roots. That's one of the most common mistakes. Each time the moss is disturbed, tiny developing root initials can be damaged before they have a chance to mature. It's far better to leave the setup undisturbed and only inspect occasionally. Another mistake is wrapping multiple sections of the vine without a clear reason. The strength of this technique comes from concentrating the plant's effort at one healthy node. A well-rooted section is usually far more useful than several weak attempts spread across the vine. And here's something most gardeners never realize. Even if the original damaged section never fully recovers, the new roots can still help sustain developing pumpkins farther down the vine. That's why understanding what to expect and what not to expect is critical. In the next part, we'll talk about realistic outcomes and how to judge whether the rescue is truly working. This is where realistic expectations become important. The purpose of this technique is not to make a struggling pumpkin vine look brand new again. If several leaves have already yellowed or sections of the vine have suffered significant damage, those parts may never return to perfect health. Plants don't erase damage the way people often hope they will. What you're looking for instead is stability. If the vine stops declining rapidly, if the leaves beyond the rooting point remain functional, and if the developing pumpkins continue growing, the technique is doing exactly what it was designed to do. In many cases, gardeners notice that fruit which seemed likely to stop developing suddenly continues sizing up normally. That's because the plant is gaining access to additional water and nutrients through the newly formed roots. The pumpkins don't care whether those resources come from the original root system or a new one. They simply need a steady supply to continue maturing. A good sign is when the wrapped section begins anchoring itself more firmly. If roots have formed successfully, the vine may feel more attached to the ground than it did before. That's often a better indicator than focusing on every leaf or every small imperfection on the plant. What's remarkable is that this entire strategy works with a natural ability the pumpkin already possesses. You're not forcing the plant to do something unnatural. You're simply creating conditions that encourage a survival response it was designed to use. And that leads to the most important lesson of all. The reason this simple $2 fix can succeed when so many other rescue attempts fail. The biggest takeaway is this. When a pumpkin vine begins struggling in mid-season, the most valuable question isn't, how do I force this plant to recover? It's, how can I help this plant use the survival tools it already has? That's exactly what this $2 Sphagnum moss method does. Rather than fighting the symptoms, it encourages a vine to create a new root system from a healthy section of stem. In many situations, that new root system becomes a lifeline that helps developing pumpkins continue growing when the original pathway has been compromised. What makes this approach so appealing is its simplicity. There's no expensive equipment, no complicated treatment schedule, and no need to constantly intervene. Once the moss is in place and the vine has the right conditions, the plant does most of the work on its own. Of course, no rescue technique comes with guarantees. The earlier you catch the problem, the better your chances. A vine that's completely collapsed for an extended period is always harder to save than one showing its first signs of decline. But many gardeners are surprised by how resilient pumpkin plants can be when given the opportunity to establish new roots. So before you pull out a struggling vine and assume the season is lost, take a closer look at those nodes along the stem. They may be capable of doing far more than most gardeners realize. Thanks for watching Smart Gardening. If you found this helpful, consider sharing your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear whether you've ever rooted a pumpkin vine to extend your harvest. And as always, happy gardening.